Welcome in. This is the Ashish sports and political podcast. Today is going to be a different type of show. I don't want to do two different podcasts. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot of stuff to discuss. And this is just one of those days where there's so much to discuss. There's so much to think about. It's one of those really fun days as an opinion person. If you are the type of person that is just very, very non-opinionated, doesn't like to get into stuff, this isn't the show for you. This has never been the show for you. But especially not today, because today is going to be fun, my friends. Let me begin with this. So the NBA Finals are over. LeBron, another excellent finals, another excellent year. 3-point shooting up, field goal percentage up, points, assists, rebounds stayed consistent. 8 40-point games in the playoffs. Again, last 2 years, 3-point shooting up. 41% last year in the playoffs. Very good percentages. Shooting the ball better than ever. Well, I shouldn't say better than ever, but improved shooter is the threat out there. Passes the ball with the same effectiveness. He's scoring at will for 8 40-point games, as I've already said. This man, the last 2 years in Cleveland, the last 3 years in Miami, essentially this last 7-year run has been the most complete brand of basketball that we've ever seen. No one can dribble, pass, rebound, run the floor, shoot the basketball. I shouldn't say defend because he's tapered off defensively, but I can give him a pass if he's averaging 35 a night in the playoffs. If he gives you 51, 8, and 8 in a game one against the 73-9 win team that added Kevin Durant. With no Kyrie Irving, might I add. LeBron has been absolutely sensational. Absolutely sensational. It is... Okay, we can't describe this guy. He has a incredibly just well-rounded game. As I've noted, this all began the summer after the Dallas series, where you saw his non-aggressiveness, his unwillingness to drive the basketball, his inability to post up, his inability to consistently shoot the basketball. And by that I mean, again, LeBron's is not Klay Thompson or Steph Curry, but he couldn't buy a shot from the perimeter. What did he do? Worked on his post game. Went to Hakeem Olajuwon. Worked on his post game. What happens? Becomes a hellacious defender. 4-time first team All-NBA. 6-time All-NBA defense for second or third team for his career. LeBron James, one of the most lethal rim protectors in terms of the chase down block. And then you've got his ability to post up, back him down, back to the basket, everything. Those last 3 years in Miami, obviously he really didn't shoot the ball well in the 2 years after the Miami run, where he brought them to a game 6 against the Warriors, and then the next year he wins the title, but he's vastly improved his shooting. He's a threat from the mid-range. He's a threat from 3 this last year, and what we saw this year. This guy is the most complete player in the NBA. You can say ever, but I don't like insulting guys before. I don't like insulting greats. If you're great at something, your legacy does not deserve to be probed at and looked at and discussed and dissolved. In the sense of, well, you're looked at in a more negative light, whereas where people look at you as if, whoa, he's not really that great. No, he's one of the top 5 players ever in the history of this sport. But there are levels to this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There are levels even within that creme de la creme, that greatest ever pantheon. There are levels to this. Speaking of levels to this, I think Kobe Bryant wants to reestablish that there are levels to the greatness and the way that we perceive greats. Let me say this, alright? This is just... Let's not forget what Kobe Bryant is. Alright, what Kobe Bryant is a narcissistic. He is a narcissist. He pushed Shaq out of LA. The man was a 3-time All-Star when Shaq was there. 2000 to 2002. It's not like he wouldn't have been a Hall of Famer. It's not as if he would have been thought of as this kind of being carried by Shaq. The people that say this are stupid. Shaq was obviously the better player, and obviously the more valuable player at the time. But the statistics bear fruit. The All-Star selections bear fruit. This guy was thought of as a premier shooting guard in the National Basketball Association. While Shaq was there. Even if he cared about All-Star appearances and MVP votes, he was right there with Shaq in 2003 for the MVP. Okay, he had All-Star selections. He was given MVP votes. He had stats. He was renowned across the league. The man had money. He had everything. His greatness was being recognized. That's the most amazing thing about the fallout of his relationship with Shaquille O'Neal. The man was an all-star. All 3 years they won the championship. All NBA defensive player. pivotal moments in the finals. Came up big. Okay, he was given recognition, money, fame, peer recognition. I've already stated this. But recognition from the writers and peer recognition are two different things. He got both. That is how narcissistic Kobe Bryant is. Alright? And I'm not here to say, okay, that I would have been any different in the handling of the Shaquille O'Neal situation in terms of strictly a basketball perspective. Don't include the whole, he went to the Colorado rape case, said, Shaq told me you could do this. That's just a bunch of, that's breaking a code, a personal code with another human being. You don't do that. Take responsibility for your actions. But I'm not here to say that I would have acted any different in terms of the basketball situation that Shaq and Kobe dealt with. If I would have, I might have acted the way Kobe did. But guess what? I'm not being paid millions of dollars to try and win championships. Kobe Bryant was a risky investment. Top 15 pick out of high school? Man, that's risky. Sure, he was the number one player, but still. Risky investment, has money, has everything. And the guy still wanted Shaq out. That is how narcissistic this guy is. So, what do we see here today? Kobe Bryant reacts to some stupid guy on Twitter saying that if Kobe Bryant were on the Cavs and Heat teams that LeBron was on, he would have lost to the Spurs. Okay, you do realize, Kobe, right, that LeBron played with a significantly worse supporting cast than you did. And by the way, he made the finals the year the Spurs swept him. So evidently he did better in the playoffs that year. 2008, you have Andrew Bynum, top 15 pick, develops into an all-star. Pau Gasol also develops into an all-star. See, there's a common misconception that Kobe lovers love to run about Bryant. Well, look at the teammates LeBron had. They suck. That's on him. And look at what happened to Paul Gasol. Look at what happened to Dwight Howard. Look at what happened to Andrew Bynum, Ron Artest. Man, let's be straight about something. Ron Artest was 37 years old. Okay? Pau Gasol was a star in Memphis. He got them at the exact right time, at the right moment, in the right situation. He's 38 now, but Ron Artest was, I believe, 31, 32 in LA. Alright, come on, this is just absolutely ridiculous. Alright, Kobe Bryant, if he was on that Cavs team, would not have gotten to the NBA Finals. He was an inefficient scorer. LeBron's 48 is something that while if any player in the NBA I had to choose from, it would be Kobe Bryant in terms of the best shot to win that game, score that many points, do what LeBron did that night. I give that to Kobe Bryant. But the fact is, he never did that. His field goal percentage for his career was 44%. Do you think in a playoff game, I know he's the Black Mamba, but if he keeps up jacking up shots like that, there's no way I actually expect him to be incredibly successful. I don't expect him to score those 48 points. Kobe's had great games and was more efficient in the later stages of his prime, understood the game better. But the efficiency of LeBron is not Kobe Bryant. Yeah, he could have replicated that performance, but throughout an entire playoffs, and I don't even know about that performance. That was an all-time performance. Perhaps the greatest playoff performance we've ever seen. I'll rank it above Michael's 63 for the sole reason that they won the game. Perhaps not the greatest individual performance in a vacuum, but given the totality of the situation, given the significance of, oh, this is now LeBron's era in basketball lore, I'll give LeBron that edge. But coming back to my original point here, Kobe Bryant played with two all-star centers, a very good player in Lamar Odom, and by the way, they were very post-centric as well. Good players like Trevor Ariza when he could dribble a basketball, Shannon Brown. I mean, he had good players, and we overhype this Boston Big Three as if it is something. Man, two all-star centers and Kobe Bryant, a deep bench, Ron Artest going insane, and home court advantage. That series should have been competitive. If it had not been competitive, that's an indictment on Kobe's legacy. And by the way, if we're not going to excuse LeBron for getting swept by a team with 4 All-Stars, when he didn't even have one, well, he had Kevin Love, but when he didn't have at least 2 other All-Stars like Kobe Bryant had. So we excuse Kobe Bryant losing by 40 in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, a closeout game which they lose. Boston wins the championship. And LeBron loses by 23 in perhaps the last game of his hometown, And, you know, they're just so much better. Kevin Love can't score, but all 3 of those guys are shooting the basketball effectively. Okay, this is just insane. It is absolutely ridiculous. That Kobe Bryant's trying to fight this as if the way the NBA was played in a post-centric game, when he had two centers in the primes of their career. Let's not forget this, okay? Bynum was paid big money. His body broke down. That's not, you don't add that to Kobe as a legacy point. Pau Gasol was a star in Memphis. He was a star in LA. Body broke down, became irrelevant because he couldn't shoot outside of 11 feet. You don't add that to Kobe's legacy point. I mean, seriously, guys, this is just how many finals did he make after Shaq left? How many? 3. 1, he clearly had the better team. 2, he had a decently competitive team, or at least an equal team, given the fact that Bynum and Gasol were in their primes, and he split. Let's be real about this. Dwight Howard, who doesn't have a real post move, along with a bunch of misfit guards, Hito Turkoglu got busted for PEDs. Wasn't good with them either. Jameer Nelson, good player, fell down quickly after that first series, after that final series. I mean, come on. We are absolutely insane. Okay, let me give you Kobe Bryant's numbers for the Western Conference Finals in 2008. Apparently when he had no teammates, 27, 22, 30, 28, 39. Okay, LeBron James had 8 40-point playoff games this year. Kobe Bryant in this entire series, I'll give him the 39-point game, but these performances, while they are great, are not otherworldly performances. 22 points, and your team wins by 30. Your team won by 30, and you scored 22 points. Oh, ask LeBron to do that. LeBron will take that every night. But he scores 51, they can't even win. And he's got to find a way to win. You scored 22 points in a conference finals in the prime of your career with 2 all-star big guys and are able to beat the Dynasty Spurs by 30. Yes, he's a great player. Yes, he's an all-time player. But let's stop it here with this whole Kobe is some victim of perception. All Kobe Bryant is now, all his legacy is as a 5-time champion. but he took the highest contract in the league to do absolutely nothing, didn't help his other teammates, wasn't healthy, couldn't contribute, didn't even make a cent of the money that he earned, I guess, over the last 3 years. Kobe Bryant, Game 6, 2008 NBA Finals. "22 points. They lose by 40. 92 to 131. I mean, you have got to be kidding me. Kobe Bryant, biggest comeback defeat in NBA Finals history, can't even put up 20. Game 1, 24. Game 2, 30. Game 3, 36. Game 4, less than 19. Game 5, 25. Game 6, 22. One absolutely phenomenal game. 2, 3 good, great games. But the man wasn't otherworldly. That's what LeBron was this postseason. That's what he was. Let's speak the truth here. Man, going through these box scores, you think he'd score 40 every night. But he didn't even score 40 once in the conference finals or the NBA finals. Came close, but didn't do it. Man, we're just making a mockery out of this. Great. He had a great series in the he had a great series in the conference semifinals. Scored 30 points in 5 of the 6 games. Great player. All-time shooting guard. The statistics here aren't bad. They're great numbers. But stack them up against LeBron this postseason. Stack them up against LeBron's averages. Not to mention the fact that he passes the ball willingly. Come on, man. These are just sour grapes. And I got more on this Kobe Bryant stuff. But up next, is there another reason as to why Kobe Bryant and Kyrie Irving are so close? Also, the Trump-Kim meeting. I'm not an anti-Trump guy. Definitely can't be considered like that. Very supportive of most of the things that he does. However, I side with a never-Trumper that I also am fond of. I side with the never-Trumper on this. This is the Ashish Narayan Sports and Political Podcast, coming to you live from Hilliard, Ohio. You know, it's so interesting that I try to separate both of these podcasts into two different things. But today it's different because there's so many things to talk about. So many things. And it's just so interesting to watch It's so fun. It's just incredible. If you're an opinion journalist today, this is the day that you want. Because even if you won't talk about it on the air, you can talk about it with your friends. You can talk about it with your family. You can talk about it with your colleagues. Because today, man, today is a news day in sports and in politics. This is the Ashish and Ryan Sports and Political Podcast coming to you live from Hilliard, Ohio. Have a good summer, y'all. Enjoy it. Go outside, unlike me, the stupid guy that keeps talking to you. But enjoy it, y'all. And coming up next, more sports, foreign policy, political stuff. It's gonna be fun.